Hi everyone, I am Teresa, and this is day 3 that I'm in school this week, and the last chapter I read you was chapter 12 of Amelia and Bedelia on the Job, book 9, so today I'll read you chapter 13. Chapter 13, What's the big idea? Clay froze. No one else moved either. Miss Shock was clutching the bright white wad of paper with gleaming red fingernails, just like a hawk that had snatched a tiny bird out of the sky. "No fair," said Clay. "You were goaltending." "I was not," said Miss Shock. "The ball was still going up, not coming down. But I played on the basketball team in college, young man," said Miss Shock. "Gosh," thought Amelia Bedelia. "Our teacher is a basketball-playing French mayor with the eyesight of a hawk? No wonder we never get away with anything." "Now it's my turn," said Miss Shock, making the official referee hand sign. This is a light. This is also a light. And this is Miss Shock telling Clay that she played basketball when she was in college. And this says foul, foul, and an arrow that points to a pirate basketball player that is actually a hawk. "I'm calling you for illegal procurator. You were goofing off when you should have been working." "I was throwing out an idea," said Clay. Just then, the conference room door opened and Amelia Bedelia's father entered along with a tall man in a dark blue suit, bright white shirt and colorful bow tie. They stood together against the back wall, chatting quietly. Miss Shock tossed the wadded up paper back to Clay and said, "Okay, let's hear your idea." "But it isn't mine," said Clay, tossing the idea to Cliff. "Cliff, go ahead," said Miss Shock. "It's not mine either," said Cliff. "Whose idea is this?" asked Sandy. No one even squeaked. They were not rats. They would never squeal on one another. But Sandy and Miss Shock were patient, so the room was silent. Even Amelia Bedelia's father and the other man stopped talking. Finally, Amelia Bedelia slowly raised her arm. Was my idea," she said. This is Amelia Bedelia's father talking to the man that he came in with. And this is Amelia Bedelia's idea getting thrown. "I tried to throw it out for real, but missed. Clay was actually helping me throw it in the trash can." "Looks like he threw it under a bus," said Amelia Bedelia's father. Sandy smiled and said, "Well, if it doesn't embarrass you, Amelia Bedelia, would you share your idea with us?" Amelia Bedelia nodded. Cliff tossed the idea to Sandy, who uncurled the paper ball and held up the page. "It's upside down," said Amelia Bedelia. Amelia Bedelia's father took the paper, turned it around, and flattened it out as much as he could. He stuck push pins in to hold it up on a corkboard where everyone could see it. "Okay, sweetheart, we're all ears." For a second, Amelia Bedelia imagined that every person in the room had turned into a giant ear ready to hear her say something dumb. She closed her eyes, took a deep breath, and with the same courage it takes to dive into an ice-cold lake, jumped up from her chair and began talking. This is Amelia Bedelia raising her hands that the idea was hers. This is a piece of paper under a bus. And this is Amelia and Bedelia imagining that everyone in the room turned into a giant ear, ready to listen to her idea. Well, when you asked us for ideas outside the box, I didn't know what you meant. Do ideas come in a box? I wish, said Amelia and Bedelia's father. I would order a case. Everyone laughed, helping Amelia and Bedelia to relax a bit. It's hard to think about being outside the box, she said, when we spend so much time in boxes. This room is a box. So is our classroom? The building is one big box. The man with the bow tie standing next to her father said, "Humph." He squinted his eyes at Amelia and Bedelia and nodded his head. Amelia and Bedelia hoped he was agreeing with her, but she wasn't sure. She kept on talking anyway. All the buildings around here are boxes. Offices, warehouses, factories, or plants, said Clay. Or plants, added Amelia and Bedelia. The signs say these are parks, businesses. Park, office park, professional park, and corporate park. As she named each one, she pointed to the squares on her drawing labeled BP, OP, PP, and CP. But these parks aren't for playing at all. They're for working. This is a box with ideas in it, and the box says great ideas. This is the man with the bow tie, and he is saying, "Humph." And this is one of Amelia and Bedelia's friends raising her hand. Dawn raised her hand. What's that big circle in the middle? What do those letters I and P mean? She asked. IP stands for Idea Park, said Amelia and Bedelia. Where's that? Asked Dawn. It doesn't exist yet, said Amelia and Bedelia. That's my idea, to build a round building, not a box, with a glass dome for a roof. At night it would look like the top of a giant light bulb. Like in cartoons, said Pat. When a person in a cartoon gets an idea, a little light bulb turns on over its head. Right, said Amelia and Bedelia. This a park where you could get ideas. People who work in the boxes around here could come and share their ideas and get new ones. They could learn about the latest improvements. College professors and scientists and interesting people could come to talk about computers and technology and art and music. And there could be really good food, maybe even a bakery. This says IP equals Idea Park. This is an egg. And this is someone in a cartoon when they have a great idea. A light bulb over their head. And this is Amelia and Bedelia's friend with light bulbs over their head. This is a scientist. This looks like a music teacher or just a regular teacher. And this is an artist and a computer. Solid, boomed the man with the bow tie. He leaned forward and slapped the table with the palm of his hand. Pop! Everyone jumped, including Amelia and Bedelia's father. These are music notes. This is a word that says pop. This is the man Amelia Bedelia's father brought in, slamming the table with his hand, and Amelia Bedelia's father is watching. Okay, bye everyone. I'll read chapter 14 tomorrow.